One thing that many people are wondering about as things reopen are live events like concerts and
A
festivals.
coalition representing live event venues across Oregon wrote a letter to Governor Brown. They're asking her if they can reopen after everyone 16 and older is eligible to receive a COVID-19 vaccine.
Well, that group got a response back from the governor. Joining us live is someone who was a part of writing that letter. She is Donna Briggs, president and CEO of the Britt Music and Arts Festival. Good morning to you, Donna.
Good morning, ladies.
Good morning. So I guess first, what is your response to what the governor, how she responded to your letter?
Well, we had a meeting scheduled with the governor's representatives on March 31st. And unfortunately, the meeting turned out to be a webinar and it was not what we had anticipated. And so we were quite disappointed because we had spent a significant amount of time preparing for the meeting and having a conversation, or if you will, a dialogue with the governor's representatives, and that did not happen.
Have you been wanting this dialogue? What are some of the things that you're just wanting to hash out with the governor's office right now that isn't happening?
Sure. Well, we would just like a seat at the table in regards to our particular industry and the sector and the challenges that are very unique to what we do. The ramp up time for music venues is unlike most entertainment venues, like bars and restaurants for that matter. We need, in a normal world, we would need 4 to 6 months, in many cases over a year, just to book the acts and to do all the things that we need to do to prepare for a season. So time is of the essence. And that really has not been, I don't think, communicated effectively to the governor's office.
Okay, and so that letter, by the way, her response says Governor Brown accelerated Oregon's vaccine timeline last week because of the concerning spread of COVID-19 being driven by new, more contagious variants. Counties across Oregon have moved into higher risk levels with increased restrictions because of this spread. It doesn't seem like it really answers in anything that you all were asking.
It doesn't, and we were never suggesting that we reopen under unsafe conditions. That's not the point. We want to have a conversation about the timing and the advanced notice. There has to be some conversation at the governor's level around opening back up, and that is not just the entertainment business, but all of Oregon. And so it seems like to us that we have valuable input that we could share with the governor's office that could help them in their decision-making process. So, yeah.
Yeah, I know one of the particular issues that some venues are facing, the indoor-only venues, is that you don't have some of the luxury of space and an outside area to have some of these socially distanced events that we are starting to see coming back on the calendar. That was one point that the governor did address the governor's office in this statement, saying they're currently exploring whether a similar expansion for indoor entertainment would also work in the way that the outdoor entertainment capacity has recently been expanded. Do you have a plan in place for how you feel you could do this safely with those indoor venues?
No, our group is representing outdoor venues, okay? So indoor venues do have different challenges. Britt Music and Arts Festival is an outdoor venue. Under current guidelines, we are only able to get in a total of 605 patrons, and our venue holds 2,200. So, do the math on that. That just simply will not work. We believe that outdoor venues should be treated very differently than indoor venues. There is a lot of data out there now based on places like Disney World and other concert venues around the country. We're in states that are allowing concerts. Even the protests, there's data suggesting that the spread of the virus in those environments is almost non-existent, and in particular if people are wearing masks. So we really encourage the governor's office to consider outdoor venues differently, and certainly there are protocols that we are all well prepared to put in place: mask wearing, line management control, additional restrooms, hand sanitation, sanitation stations. So we are well equipped in this industry to manage large groups. So that's our, that's our recommendation.
I think it just goes to show how diverse this area is, and all these different types of venues, different types of entertainment, and how really more guidance would be beneficial going forward here. Donna, Briggs, thank you for joining us this morning. We appreciate your input.